Example 3 is just like example 2, but what you have to do here is, if you notice, you have a negative x up here. Now basically what that negative x means is the same thing as having 3 to the power of -1 all to the x power, and which means you take this 3 and flip it and make it a 1/3. So a 3 to the negative x is the exact same thing as a 1/3 to the power of positive x. So we still graph these the same way by making a table of values. And you can either plug it into 3 to the power of negative x, or you can plug it into the 1/3 of the x. But either way, it's going to be the same thing. So I'm actually going to plug it into the 1/3 x. So I'm going to use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 again. And when you substitute these in, if you get a 1/3 to the -2. 1/3 to the -2 means the same thing as 3 squared, because you take the 1/3 and flip it, and you get a 3 squared. So that becomes a 9. So if you go back 2, up 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Leave out here. And then do the same thing with your -1. So you're going to have a 1/3 to the power of -1, which just means 3 to the first. So you go back 1, up 3. And then if you plug a 0 in, remember, if you have anything to the 0 power, so 1/3 or even 3 to the 0, you're just going to get a 1. You don't get 0, but you get 1. So you have 0, 1 here. And if I'm going to plug in a 1/3 to the power of 1, that's just 1/3. So I'm going to go to the right 1, up a third. About right there, and then plug a 2 in, that's 1/3 squared, which is a 1/9. So you go to the right, 2 up a 9th, right about there. So then you graph this. This comes down, goes through these points, goes along here to the right, and goes along your horizontal asymptote. So that's f of x. Make sure you label that. Now if we want to do g of x, same thing, but we're going to do this one with same x values, just it's going to end up being different y values. So same thing, if you have a 5 to the negative x, that's really a 5 to the -1 to the power of x, which is just a 1/5 to the power of x. So if you plug in -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, you're going to get these values of 25, 5, plug in a 0, you get a 1, 1/5, and 1/25. Hopefully by now you're seeing some similarities in between these. So if you graph this, you're going to go back 2, up 25, which is going way up there. Back 1, up 5 is here. 0, 1, over 1, up a 5th, which is here, and 1/25 right about there. So this graph is coming down, goes through, and remember what we said before, if you have a larger a value, that means your graph is going to have a little more slope, and it's going to be a little bit sharper curves. So this is your g of x, and there are your two graphs.